statues of different figures in various postures resembling a mixture of religious and secular sculptures. The first of these cave temples is known as Devaraja Vihare, or Cave of the Divine Kings. The narrow strip of its floor mainly occupies a 12-meter-long statue of the Enlightened One in the Parinibbana posture. Folklore has it that it had been hewn out of the rock by Vishvakarma, the deity of craftsmen, at the request of the king of the gods, Shakra Devendra. Although the origins of this cave temple date back to the time of King Walagamba, that is considered a period in which the building of Buddha statues were unheard of. However, the style of the statue of the Enlightened One in the Parinibbana pose is supposed to have been completed in the latter part of the Anuradhapura period. At the foot of this statue is a sculpture popularly thought to be of the standing Anandathera, the chief disciple of the Buddha. However, this statue, with the right hand holding onto a part of the robe and the left hand in the Katakahasta Mudra, is supporting the view that this is a statue of the Buddha himself, in a rare posture. This cave temple has 4 more Buddha statues in a sitting posture.
Next, we have with a delicious recipe for you to try at home.
Hi, we are here at the Epicurean Kitchen at the Hilton on the Park in Melbourne. So we've got our executive chef at the hotel, Heshan Peris, where we are our own Sri Lankan chef. Heshan,
how are you?
Tell me what you're going to do today.
Okay, so something a bit different today. We're going to do a very European influenced dish. This actually came up, I with German chefs in here, and they actually kind of helped me come up with this dish. So we're actually going to do a pork chop with a wilted cabbage with an apple, sour apple.
Ooh,
so
sounds good.
Yeah, completely different to what's a bit our normal curries and things like that. So yeah, I'll get started on this. Okay, so our ingredients are for this. We have a pork chop. Now I'm using a pork chop. You can use a pork loin or a pork cutlet, completely up to you. We have for our marinade, sliced onion, coriander powder. I'm using beer for this as well, so you'll see some beer in there. And when we go to our cabbage, we have our sliced bacon, sliced carrot, sliced apple, some shredded cabbage. I've got some red and white cabbage. And then we have some simple ingredients of onion, garlic, coriander, and some apple juice, and a little bit of oil to finish it all off. Okay, so we're going to start with the pork, and I'm going to show you how to do this marinade. So now, the idea of adding beer to this is the beer is carbonated, so the carbon actually gets into the pork and starts making it much more tender. You see this process done with Asian cooking a lot. They use bicarb salt on top of beef to get it nice and moist. The beer assists in the same process.
So what type of beer you like to use?
Now, see, that's actually a good question. I'm using a premium, just a lager for this. Now, if you're using quite a hoppy beer, like those European beers, you will change the flavour. You can actually play around with different beers to work out
more darker beer.
A dark beer, a stout will get you a nice chocolatey flavour going through there as well. So different beers will give you a different flavour in this as well. So the onion's simply there to actually intensify a little bit of that beer flavour. So we add a bit of onion, coriander powder, and okay, so we add our beer now. Now the best part of this dish is actually the leftover beer is completely yours to finish off and enjoy while you cook your dinner. So now, best marination time for this is about 4 to 8 hours, overnight preferably. At the hotel we actually let it go over a night and a half, so we do it for a day, just over that much, about 16 to 18 hours to get that really maximum flavour. So yeah, that will get nice and tender. I have my assistant Heshan who's going to start cooking one because he's marinated one a lot earlier on before me, and what I'm going to do now is start on the cabbage.
Well, Heshan, that goes in the oven.
Yep.
Okay, let's do the rest of
Yeah,
it.
let's start on the cabbage. So what we're going to start now is to make like a little bit of a stir fry style cabbage. We're just going to wilt it down. So what I mean by that is to cook our cabbage so it just starts to get nice and soft. And we're going to add a little bit of apple to it. The apple gives it a nice sour and sweet taste. This works well in contrast with the pork. Again, you know, apple and pork, a classic marriage. So we're trying to join the two again in our flavour. So let's start off with the pan. Let's try and get that nice and hot. So the first things to go in is a little bit of garlic, a little bit of onion. And we're just going to try and get that little bit translucent. So what I mean by translucent is to get that soft without colour. We're just constantly working it. Because the garlic's quite fine, we don't want the garlic to burn, so constantly stirring. And as you start to feel the aroma of the garlic, next step is to get our cabbage in there. So, a little bit of white, a little bit of our red cabbage. And again, give that a quick stir. I'll now add our carrot, which we shredded, and also our bacon. Now the bacon gives it a nice smoky flavour. As you can use prosciutto, you can use pancetta to get that even nice smokier flavour. I'm using bacon, gives it a nice smoky flavour, gives it a bit of a rich meaty flavour as well. Now as our cabbage starts to get nice and brown, I'm going to add our apple juice. So classically you'll see white wine. I'm adding white apple juice to get that more appley sour taste going through. Now the steaming process helps our cabbage to wilt. And at this point, I add our diced apple, or sliced apple, sorry. And we'll also give this a little bit of a seasoning of salt. Okay, so this is just about ready now. It's still got a little bit of crunch. We're going to add our coriander. And a little spoonful of whole grain mustard. Just to give it a bit more of that, just to give it a bit of a spicy note. And also it just rounds off all those flavours. So, as you can see, it's still got vibrant, full of colour. Okay, and just go straight to our plate. What we're going to do now is get our pork out of the oven. So our pork's come out of the oven. It's got a really nice yeasty smell from that beer. That right on top. Okay, so we have our braised cabbage, nice and vibrant, nice flavours in there. The mustard, the apple, just giving a little bit of sourness. On top we have our pork chop, which we marinate in beer. The beer gives that nice yeasty flavour, and all that bicarbonate in there will actually tenderise the meat. So really nice flavours, nice aromas coming out of that. What do you reckon, Kiki?
That looks fantastic for me. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
And smells very nice with that. The base is fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, Heshan, thanks again. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
And I'm sure that we'll see you again with another
see
recipe.
me one more week, yes.
Okay, fantastic. Well, that's all for the day. We'll see Heshan next week again at the same place and the same show. Bye for now.
See you later.